Smith.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call to order this regular session of the Vienna City Council. Having taken roll and having a quorum, we will proceed. We didn't have anyone sign up for the public forum this evening. However, I'm going to ask Jack Mathers if he will take a few moments and give us a brief update on the Prince of Vienna Freedom Festival.
Yeah, we just,
Thanks, Jack. That was good.
yeah, thank you. Hey, pretty good, Eric.
We appreciate that, Jack. Thanks for telling us all about it.
Hey, I feel loved, let me tell you. So, I wanted to let you know, really happy right now because we just finished. Really, one of the hardest parts is going through and raising the funds, money for the Freedom Festival, and that finished probably today. It had to finish because we ordered the stage banners and T-shirts and the merchandise and everything with the names. It went well. We actually had our best year this year, so it went well, and we'll be fine. We prayerfully the wrestling comes off well, and we have a great turnout for that. We'll be in good shape because we make some money back that we're down right now on the backside, by the wrestling and some of the events that we have. But it's going to be great. I want to tell you some things to watch for. And I'm just going to jump around a little bit. Saturday night, when the drone show, you may see, and it's because it's not 100% yet, there may be a little bit of an early drone show. Don't think that's the final. Don't think that that's the end. They may do a little pre-drone show. But I will tell you, without telling you, one of the things that you're going to see at the Freedom Festival at the drone show, there's some amazing things that they've made. They've already got the program put together, and I know a couple people that have seen the program, and they told me about the one thing, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. It's the most drones we've ever had for a show. So you definitely, I'm telling you, you want to see it. So you want to be there for that. I was talking to Amanda Marketing, and she said, and I don't know the number, the mayor may know this, but she said something like, we've had 30,000 hits or clicks or something, whatever that is. And I said, well, how is that? She goes, that's unbelievable. She goes, that's very large, whatever it was. So she's anticipating a big turnout for this. The number, it may not have been hits or clicks, but there's a number. So anyway, expecting a big crowd. We've got a lot of things planned. Look forward to everybody being there. And I think it's going to be a great time. So that's what I wanted to let you know.
Does anybody have any questions for Jack about the Freedom Festival and what's going on?
How many drones? How many drones?
300, but there may be a little extra thing there with some other drones, depending what they're doing. But the animal show that we're going to put on for the kids, the guy's absolutely wonderful. That's going to be a great thing that we're looking forward to. Great guy. We talked to him here the other day to find out what he needs. Teresa talked with him. I talked with him. That's going to be a neat thing for kids to be able to go in and get under a tent and have an animal show. So there's the music, naturally. There's going to be a lot there, a lot of fun. We have the most vendors. I'm winding it up. We have the most craft vendors we've ever had, I think, that's going to be there, and food vendors. So it's going to be pretty good. We've got a little dance thing planned during the day, so it's going to be interesting. So a lot going on. Car show is supposed to be big. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Just Jack. The minutes from the regular council meeting on May 28, 2026 have been printed, posted, and circulated. Are there any corrections to the minutes? If not, the minutes will stand approved as posted. Councilman Sassen, you have a treasurer's report?
Yep. I reviewed the reconciliation of funds dated June 4th, 2026, and a short budget report at a high level and compared them to the previous month. Accounts are in order, and the city of Vienna can pay its bills. The other thing from a budget and finance standpoint, while I'm talking about finance and treasurer's report, is the third quarter meetings will be on July 7th, August 4th, and September 8th at 4 p.m. And then part of the packet that you guys received contains the information with regards to changes to the budget that did not require council approval because they were done in the same cost center. So that's in this packet.
Are there any questions? If not, the treasurer's report will stand as submitted. Moving on, we have no unfinished business this evening, so we'll move right into new business. The first item on the agenda is a general fund budget revision number 8. Councilman Sassen.
Yeah, for going through, this is the last month of the calendar year or fiscal year for the city. So Amy made a bunch of adjustments to make sure everything got square balance before the end of the month.
Excuse me. Should we approve the budget revision first before discussion? Just asking.
I mean, I think you can move and second it if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Discuss it.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, it's fine.
Okay. Apologize for that.
Hey, no problem.
I make a motion.
Second. Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Now.
Now we go
Yeah,
through.
now.
So, going back to what I
It's
reviewed
fine.
earlier.
I think typically he has explained what it is. Then once he explained what it is, like Russ reading the resolution, then we make a motion and say.
Yeah, that's
We're
fine.
fine.
That's fine. Well, going through what we have here is, like I said, Amy made a bunch of adjustments to make sure things got square balance for the budget for end of the calendar year, which is June 30th. The first one was we have $529,959 going to capital reserve. That's a carryover. So that means this year there's $979,959 that we put in capital reserve. Building permits, they were adjusted by $37,500 in that area. Then from attorney fees, city attorney, the account 417-23 for professional services. We increased cost to pay for outside counsel by $20,000. For building inspection, which is account 436-03 on salaries, additional funds due to increased workload by $4,000. Contributions to other funds was account 444-68. That came out of contributions, and that's carryover to capital reserve. That was the $59,959 I mentioned. Parks, which is 540-68, there was a contribution donation to Jackson Middle School of $37,500, which is up for discussion later today.
2,500 of it.
Okay. And then street lights for utilities, which came in account 581-13, increase in utility costs with lighting as well as natural gas by $10,000. And then contingencies was decreased by $34,000. Anybody want to talk about it?
So it's important to, as we look through this, the big thing is that we're carrying over close to $1 million this year, and it's projected in the budget to be 450, but because of good management, good resource management, good fund management, we actually lowered our expenses another $530,000, which means out of this is last year's budget when we finished up, almost $1 million in carryover. And that number is expected to actually increase this year to approximately, this year's carryover is looking at $1.5 million, $1.6 million. So the city is doing exceptionally well when it comes to funds management and making sure that we're spending resources appropriately and responsibly and being good stewards of taxpayers' money. So all in all, very happy, very pleased with that.
and this is the fiscal calendar year, July 1st through June 30th. So prior year was July of 2024 through June 30th of 2025.
I just wanted to say, and as I was reviewing this and see the number, it's obviously a sign of great management, on behalf of the mayor and the finance team and all the department heads coming together and really tweaking the budget and getting that total cost down. That's significant. This is money that we're going to be able to spend, to improve our city, streets, our infrastructure, also be able to spend down at Spencer's Landing or other developments that we come up with throughout the city eventually. So it was just very uplifting to see this, large of an increase in carryover. So I appreciate all the work and effort that everybody's put into getting these savings to happen.
One thing you gotta think about too, though, it's good that there's carryover because we had allocated funds for work out of our reserve fund towards Spencer's Landing and so forth, and the fire truck and everything else. So we depleted the funds from a higher level down to a lower level. Now we have to replenish that. So hopefully we get several more years like this.
Overall, our finance department has done an excellent job. Amy Roberts, I don't believe there's any finer finance director that I would trust with the management of funds, and along with her staff. They're to be commended on their management, both on an auditing level and on a management level. So Amy's not here, but if you're watching, on behalf of the city, we thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Having a motion and a second and no further discussion, all those in favor of approving general fund budget revision number 8, signal by raising your hand. Or your microphone. Motion passes unanimously. The next item on the agenda is internal budget revision number 4, Councilman Sassen.
Yep, going through with internal budget revision number 4, there's a look at your packet. There's a bunch of adjustments that were made within the department for departmental needs. So none of these require council approval. Going through, I mean, it's an internal revision form, but it's nothing for us to vote on.
So these are outside of the line items that we approved would be done internally from the department. So these are items that actually we have to vote on and pass because they do with pay. They have to do with pay and salaries.
Okay.
So we have to vote.
On this. Okay. So do I have a motion?
I'll do that. Thank you.
He must need to go somewhere.
I know. You must be in a hurry this evening. Henry,
I'm getting ready for
Henry, brother, you got dinner plans tonight.
No, I got ready for about minutes.
Having heard the explanation of the budget revision, do I have a motion to accept? I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Let's just go through them real quick. On the mayor's, we had a classification change of the mayor's assistant due to additional job duties. Funds were allocated into there and taken out of travel and out of insurance, out of the mayor's budget department. The second line item was for the recorder, appropriate money for retirement costs that were left out of the budget. That was for $800, and that's coming out of training and education. For the police judge, there was to cover increased costs due to court clerks' longevity, increase in pay in prior year not accounted for. That was for about $350. That came out of training and education. Out of the police department, increase in salary and benefits due to payouts of retiring officers. That impacted salaries, FICA, group insurance, and retirement. That was taken out of the phone, pension, and insurance cost centers. Then there was the fire department, where there was a shortfall due to a plan change within the department of $4,000. That came out of insurance. Then there was for pool, appropriate money for salaries, and FICA for the city pool manager. That was for $3,300 that came out of the insurance line. And for code enforcement, additional appropriation due to longevity amount not being added to the pay. That was for $1,350, and it basically came out of insurance. And that is, in a nutshell, the different movements that happen within the department.
In none of these changes, there was no additional funds pulled from capital reserve. This all came from line items specifically in those already existing budgets, so there were no budget increases. This is just the shifting of funds to cover this, the typical end of year issues that we have when it comes to paying salaries and additional expenses.
In other words, it came out of your left pocket and the right pocket.
Yeah.
Same money, same everything, no change.
Are there any other discussions or questions? Having a motion and a second, no further discussion. All those in favor of accepting budget revision number 4 as submitted, please signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes.
On the next one was the coal severance, West Virginia. It was in the amount of $52,008. Jay?
Do I have a motion to accept the coal severance fund budget revision?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion?
This is a number that changes year to year. I call it the sprinkles on top of the ice cream. You don't plan for it and you get it, you're blessed. So.
And every year historically, it just goes directly into streets.
Yep. So that's what we're planning on doing with it.
Any other discussion? Having none, having a motion and a second, no further discussion. All those in favor of the coal severance fund budget revision number 1, please signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. All right, Russ, you're up next. Next, we have a resolution to contribute $2,500 for the resurfacing of Jackson Middle School track. You can read it.
Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Vienna that the City of Vienna hereby authorizes a contribution in the amount of $2,500 to Jackson Middle School for the Wood County Board of Education toward the resurfacing of the Jackson Middle School track. This expenditure is contingent upon Jackson Middle School, Wood County Board of Education's approval of the project. Said contribution shall be paid from the appropriate city funds as authorized by council.
Do I have a motion to accept the resolution as read? I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. If you'll recall at our last council meeting, this was brought up by Councilman Leach to assist them with that project. This is in addition to the assistance that we've given towards the building of the new wrestling and training area. And this would go specifically for the track resurfacing. Do I have any discussion or questions? Having none, all those in favor of approving the resolution as read, please signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes. Item number 5. Mr. Skogstad, just take it away.
This is a resolution adopting the City of Vienna 2026-2027 Annual Action Plan and authorizing submission of the city's 2026-2027 Community Development Block Grant application. Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Vienna that the following projects be included in the City of Vienna's 2026-2027 Community Development Block Grant application. 1. Housing, energy efficient windows and doors, HVAC, roof, gutters and downspouts, hot water tanks, the amount of $83,655. 2. Planning and administration, $15,600 for a total of $99,255. Further, upon adoption of this resolution, Council hereby adopts the attached annual action plan for the 2026-2027 program year and authorizes submission of the same to the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, Pittsburgh office.
Having heard the resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Second.
I have a motion, a second, a third, and probably a fourth, if Tammy was looking at me correctly. So just pick names, Rob. You can write anybody's name down at that point. This is the CDBG program that we do every year. It is a phenomenal program that helps seniors within our community do improvements to their homes, everything from windows and doors to siding to to HVAC issues. It was just a tremendous help. So it's a good thing that we get it and they make good use of it.
I'll say, my neighbor actually was awarded the grant, this past year, and she had her windows and, front door replaced, and they did an excellent job. I mean, the beautiful, beautiful windows, a beautiful front door, storm door, so I think it's doing what it's supposed to do.
And the way this works, if you don't know the history of it, is that there's basically a lien put against the house for the amount that they're doing, and they have to stay at least 5 years in that home. Then at the end of the 5 years, we release the lien.
But then there's a income limit cap too, right?
Yes. Excuse me. There are income eligibility requirements.
And just so you guys are aware, there are two people that do a great deal of work with the acquiring funds and the administration of that. Of course, Ms. Tiano does the work for the grant to get the money for the city that helps do this program. And then Ms. Barr, who works with the Code Enforcement Office, also does a great deal of work with helping to administer the actual nuts and bolts of the program. And so, just letting, so many folks, I keep forgetting, are we in our first or second year as a new council?
This is our second year.
Oh my gosh. But just letting you guys know, these are the folks that do the hard work.
It never hurts to be reminded. And the city is very thankful for all that you do, because it helps us tremendously. And I know that there are multiple Vienna residents that are very appreciative that have this availability of a program to them to be able to make the improvements that they otherwise wouldn't be able to do. So we thank you for your work. Having a motion and a second, is there any other discussion? Having no other discussion, all those in favor of accepting the resolution as submitted, please signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 6 is another resolution. Go ahead, Mr. Scalzad, and I'll let you do that one.
Let me scroll down to it.
You got it?
Yeah, I've got it here. Thank you. I've got to get through 65 pages. There we are.
I have it here if you'd like it.
Thank you. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into a temporary storage, staging, and construction laydown lease agreement with Hope Gas Inc. Well, I wrote it, so I guess I'll read it. Be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Vienna that the mayor of the City of Vienna is hereby authorized to execute on behalf of the city a temporary storage, staging, and construction laydown lease agreement with Hope Gas Inc., West Virginia Corporation, for the temporary lease and use of a designated portion of city-owned property located in the Vienna Corporation District, Wood County, West Virginia, being part of the property recorded in the office of the clerk of the Wood County Commission in Deed Book 1065, page 191, District 10, Tax Map 51, Parcel Number 1. Be it for the result that said lease agreement shall permit Hope Gas Inc. to use the designated premises for temporary storage, staging, construction, laydown, equipment placement, ingress, egress, and related activities associated with the replacement of an existing pipeline, subject to the terms and conditions set forth in the lease agreement. Be it further resolved that the lease agreement shall provide for an initial term of 6 months with renewal terms as provided therein, and consideration payable to the city in the amount of $2,500 for the primary term and $2,500 for each applicable renewal term. Be it further resolved, the mayor is authorized to execute the lease agreement together with any related documents, exhibits, certificates, or instruments necessary or appropriate to carry out the purpose of this resolution, subject to final review and approval as performed by council. And you have, you should have attached a, excuse me, clean copy of the agreement. After we've moved and seconded, I do, and I wish I'd have thought of this too, and have included it. I do have an amendment that Mr. Morrison and I have talked about making for track out the road cleanup, but we'll get to that after this resolution has been moved and seconded.
Having heard the resolution, do I have a motion to accept?
Yes.
I have a motion to accept. Do I have a second?
Second.
Having a motion and a second, open for discussion. An amendment?
Yeah. So one of the, I'll see if I can help Mr. Morrison out a little bit. One of the things that, and I wish I'd thought of it, was the track out and road cleanup. We have an ordinance in Vienna that requires utilities to make a post bond whenever they're doing any kind of utility work. But I think it's perfectly appropriate to have language like this in the agreement. Mr. Morrison and I talked about it. So the The language that I would suggest adding to the actual agreement itself is track out and road cleanup. Tenant shall not allow mud, dirt, stone, gravel, debris, or other material to be tracked, spilled, or deposited from the premises on any public road, private road, sidewalk, right-of-way, or neighboring property. Tenant shall keep all access points to the premises reasonably maintained to prevent track out, and shall properly clean up any track out or debris caused by the tenant's use of the premises, including by tenant's employees, contractors, subcontractors, vehicles, equipment, invitees, or agents. If tenant fails to clean up any track out or debris immediately after notice from the city may have the cleanup performed, and Hope shall reimburse the city for all costs incurred. The Hope shall also be responsible for any fines, penalties, damages, claims, or enforcement actions arising from track out or debris caused by Hope's use of the premises. Repeated failure to comply with this section shall constitute a default under the lease. Is that your?
Yeah, no, I think that really addressed the concerns. One of the other concerns that I just popped up today, I noticed we're paving that section of the road. Is that right?
So no, that, what you see, the red, the road that goes right in front, that's the, it's behind the gated area. So what we paved is, well, we paved this.
Right.
And this is just a gravel drive.
But they don't have access, or will they have access to that?
They will use a gate right here.
Okay.
No heavy trucks will be making their way through. They'll be coming down this little section of 12th Street, but
Just tap the screen.
sorry, this is my phone. They'll be coming down here, but then they'll turn into a gate here. Then the kayak launch area that was paved is this area back here. So there's a gate right here. That's what they'll be using.
Now, I'm assuming you're just gonna take, before they start, take a picture of what everything looks like, and then when they're done, take a picture of it.
Yep. I went down and took pictures today.
One other question.
Was that was that the amendment?
That's the amendment. And I've already spoken with the attorneys about that, and so they understand that it's coming, that it's possible and it can be added to the agreement.
So I'm making a motion to
Add that.
the amendment.
Do I have a second?
To amend the agreement as.
That's fine. Yeah, we have a motion second to amend the agreement or to add the amended language to the agreement that I've just read.
Is there any other discussion on the amendment? Having heard the amendment, all those in favor of passing it as read, please signify by raising your right hand. The amendment is added.
And the only other thing, this just occurred to me on my drive back today, was we didn't have anything for an expiration. I know there's an ability to continually extend the term, but should we tag on some sort of expiration?
I mean, you can. The length of the agreement, the maximum amount of time under the agreement is 18 months. You have 3 6-month terms.
Okay,
So it's 6 months from the date of execution, then it renews if it needs to be continued, and then it'll renew again unless for some reason one of the other parties terminate. So it's not going to be it's on the outside end of it. The longest it could be there is for 18 months. And my understanding from the project is it shouldn't take, they're only using that, what is it, 25 by, now it's probably about 50 by 100, I think. It's less than about a tenth of an acre of property. They're only going to use that for that project of touching the hole under the road here. They have another laydown area where they're going to put most of their other equipment, at least as has been explained to me.
So having a motion and a second, is there any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the resolution as amended, please signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes, or resolution passes. Is that a lot to write down?
And I'll fold that into the lease agreement and get a final copy for the mayor to sign.
The last item on the regular agenda is a resolution adopting an education incentive policy for the Vienna Volunteer Fire Department. You want to read that in it?
I don't think I'm going to read it in its entirety.
Can I explain it?
Please.
All right, so we're gonna give you the short version. Several months ago, I approached Chief Stroll, and as we know, recruitment for the volunteer service of the Vienna Volunteer Fire Department has been very difficult. And it's not just the fire department, it's volunteer service programs all across the nation and, you know, within our community. So we started to discuss ways that we could incentivize individuals not to only want to join the fire department, but to also act as a retention tool to keep them on. So as I looked for different ways that I could, you know, possibly recommend doing that, one of the things that I looked at and brought me to this point was a education incentive program for the members of the volunteer fire department. And I based it pretty much off of the Montgomery GI Bill that we used for the military. I spent 25 years in the military, and I got a Montgomery GI Bill that I could use while I was there, in addition to Montgomery GI Bill once I got out, different titles. So what this would do is that if you are a member of the Vienna Volunteer Fire Department in good standing, in chief, how many calls and such do they have to be to make? They have to do like so many calls and to qualify for their retirement stuff.
It's stair-stepped as to what they get. They get a certain amount of money for a certain amount of calls. The more calls they make, more money they take.
Correct, but they have to stay in good standing
Yes.
to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
you have to have certain state requirements and fire department requirements.
So this encompasses those requirements as well. So as long as a member of the Vienna Volunteer Fire Department, I can't seem to get all that out correctly, that's a lot of B's, stay in good standing, they would have access to up to $1,000 a year in tuition, in fees, reimbursement, or continuing education through like a journeyman's union or something along those lines for continuing education. It could be utilized by the member of the department themselves, or they could defer it to their spouse or their dependent children. But they have to stay in good standing. It's a reimbursement program. So they just don't apply for it and get it. They would actually have to expend the funds, go to school, pay for it, then they would turn their receipts in proof of payment and completion into the city, then we would reimburse up to $1,000 a year for that program. We did set money, I believe it was $10,000 we set aside this year. That's included in the new budget that'll be coming forward in July. That was based on, Chief and I sat and we looked at our current workforce in the fire department and was able to get a good idea of how many people may or may not utilize that. And that should be adequate. It would be great if we get an onslaught of people that wanted to join the fire department. I don't think we got big problems with that, would you, Chief?
We'll take any dedicated people we get.
Dedicated people. So this would act both as a recruitment tool and as a retention tool. I know I spoke to one individual who came out of an honorary status back into, and part of it was when I was discussing with him that we were going to add this incentive because he's got college age kiddos at the house, and it will dramatically help. So that's the kind of short version of it. Do you have any questions that would pertain to that? No, I must have explained it rather well. So having heard the resolution as submitted, having a motion and a second, no further discussion? No. Did I not?
No.
Man, I tried to blow right by that, didn't I? Do I have a motion to accept? Do I have a second? Henry must not be the only one that wants to get out of here this evening. What is your question?
Okay, so, and I think this is a great thing. I guess the question I have is $1,000, is that a maximum amount that we're allowed, or is that just a number that we set?
That's a number that we picked.
Okay, so.
There's not a maximum.
And I know if someone goes to school in college over the 4 years, that's $4,000. And that's a very good thing, but I'm not so sure 4,000 covers much. I don't know if $1,000 is enough, actually.
Well, the $1,000 is supposed to be supplemental. It's not there to be.
Well, I know, but
their
if
whole
you're
school.
looking to recruit and incentivize, again, I'm not complaining about the 1,000. I just wondered if it's going to be enough.
That's 1,000, that's 10,000 for the calendar year that's coming. So So then if he keeps the program, it's gonna be another probably 10 grand the following.
Yeah.
It could be, it could be, or
And-
we could ask for more the next time around.
Right, and you also have to consider, I think, that you could implement this to $1,000 per dependent child, so you could have 2 children, and each of them qualify for the $1,000.
So I'm not asking for any, motion right now, I'm just saying, let's see how this works out down the road, let's be open to the fact that maybe change it per semester or increase.
You could certainly do that. You could come back and by resolution change this if it looks to be successful and you're getting some younger people to come in and commit to the fire department. There's no reason you couldn't come back and change the number.
And I'm sure they will be ecstatic with anything that we'll do. Look, if you don't know, and I know because I get the calls, I get every call that comes across 911, I get. It doesn't matter what time of the day, my phone goes off. So I know every time our volunteer fire members are going out. Then I hear on the radio what it is, and if it's a structure fire, I tend to go to the fire station or a car wreck. But there's a lot of things that they get called out for during the day that you may not even know. And there have been days that I've seen back to back. Like they've pulled the truck in, and 15 minutes later, my phone's went, and you hear the sirens go. Chief Scholl has to be worn out on every given day because he is at all of them. He goes to each and every one of them, along with the dedicated group that does that. And they are there, no matter what time of the day it is. And I do apologize when I don't make the ones that are like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. But they're there, so anything that we can do to assist him and support our volunteer fire members, I think is just spectacular, and I thank you for it.
Just to add a little legal part to this doesn't make the firemen, doesn't make them employees. It's not, I've already talked to the ethics folks about this. It doesn't make them employees. It doesn't count as, it's not a gift per se. This is an incentive. And the hope is that we can skew some of the numbers and skew a little bit younger and get some folks in here to replace some of our men and women who are getting to the age where they might not want to go out at 3 o'clock in the morning to deal with every call that they have to deal with.
Is there any other discussion? Having none, all those in favor of accepting the resolution as submitted, please signify by raising your right hand. Motion passes unanimously. Chief, they'll be able to start to apply for that at the beginning of the July. So if they've got kids going into that first, however they want to use it. So that first semester, if they want to turn in receipts and get reimbursed for things at that point, however they want to do it, but this school year, they'll be able to start to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank each and every one of you council members for your support. Harry, did you want to say anything about that?
The only thing that, sorry, Rob.
Need a WD-40 that.
Rob brought up about are we saying that they can have multiple?
So it's $1,000 max
For
right now, for the family.
For the family, okay.
For the family.
I just want to clarify that, because
Yeah.
when we had a discussion just a minute ago,
Well,
it sounded like.
The way I
He was saying you could.
So the way how you guys choose to administer it, I think is how you all choose to administer it. I think there's flexibility here that if you have more than one spouse or more than one dependent child, I think you could go up to it.
Let's hope you don't have more than
No,
one
I
spouse.
didn't know if that meant multiple.
You have one spouse.
It's getting close to my bedtime.
But I didn't know that meant multiple thousands per family.
I think you could administer it that way under the policy, but if the policy is going to be administered in the first year, to just limit it to $1,000 per firefighter. And I think that's certainly what you have budgeted
That's what
for.
I
I think that's a reasonable way to administer it.
That concludes the regular agenda. Moving on to now reports, standing boards and committees. Anybody got something?
Yeah, I'll say, the, Vienna Rec, voted to approve, and, they're gonna be setting up some, flags and banners and different things celebrating the, World Cup. down at the soccer fields. So look for that here in the next, hopefully, couple weeks or so. We'll start seeing some flags and banners. They're going all out with it, kind of decorating it, because there's a lot of hype around the fact that we've got the World Cup happening in the United States for the first time in 30 years, and we're trying to jump on that and build some hype in the community with the kids, decorate the soccer field, with the flag, make it feel like the World Cup stands. So kind of it's a cool thing. I'm really looking forward to it. So be on the lookout if you're ever out driving by the soccer fields over on Rosemar 34th. You'll see the flags.
Think of what that'll be like when we have an Olympic-sized soccer field, right? Gary?
And do we have to wait until the soccer season is over to start clearing some of the other stuff out of there?
That was their request, that we would wait until
Oh, really?
July.
Okay.
And we wouldn't disturb anything until their season was over.
No, I just thought you could knock out that concrete at the end of the field and knock out the dugout and some of that stuff.
I think they were concerned about us bringing in heavy equipment and tearing up areas that they use.
Okay.
So that was per their request.
Let me know when you need my check.
Anytime now. Go
I
ahead.
just wanted to mention last Friday was the Senior Center annual picnic held at Spencer Park, and it was a huge success. There was more of a turnout than we've ever had. They cooked hundreds of hot dogs and hamburgers, hundreds, and everyone enjoyed it. It was great. And Teresa and Liz do a lot of work in getting that together and setting it up. The Parks Department helps with the setup and the cooking, the grilling, and cleanup. I mean, it's just a real group effort from a lot of people, and it was really a nice event. So
They had 80, I believe, originally sign up, and she counted like 110 or 115, and there were still, I mean, it was like basically loaves of fishes, because there were still hot dogs and hamburgers that were going on, but everybody seemed to have a wonderful time.
it was great. It really was good.
Henry, do you have something?
Next Friday is a holiday for the city, right?
Yes.
Okay, just Friday.
So I have authorized a half-day Thursday because of the holiday on Saturday.
Yeah, West Virginia's birthday.
So we didn't do a whole day simply because we, in discussion that was trying to be closed on a Friday or a Monday so we've given a half day off on Thursday in recognition of West Virginia Day, and then Friday would be Juneteenth. So from my end, from the Mayor's Office of Parks, the Boys and Girls Club kicked off their summer program here in Vienna this past Monday, and it has been absolutely incredible. The kids are having a wonderful time. If you're out and about from 9 to 2, and this is for the council members, from 9 to 2, Monday through Friday, if you want to stop in and see what they're doing, this is being worked out of the Vienna Rec Building that I recently had Parks do a complete renovation on. They've got it all set up. They've got kids playing games. They go to the pool. They're teaching them various things. And I talked to a mother as I was over there the other day, and she said, this has saved our family. She said, last year I was having to spend $300 a week to have their child go. And she said, I was basically working for nothing, but I had no other options. And this program has saved my family financially. The kids are enjoying it. The staff from the Boys and Girls Club are doing a phenomenal job. And I want to thank council for your support and being able to bring that to fruition and make that happen. And I would encourage you to stop and see that. The kayak and riverfront area is scheduled to be done by the end of this month. The paving was completed today. All the concrete work is done. The safety lighting poles have been put up and are in place. The stairs have been fabricated and will be placed hopefully next week in its spot. The riverfront down at 12th Street will become a destination location for individuals that want to enjoy the Ohio River. It is absolutely beautiful. If you've not had an opportunity to go down and see it, I would suggest that you would, because it's the start, it's the first domino in our overall riverfront development, and it is looking really well. So those two things are going. There's so many great things going on in Vienna right now. It doesn't take very, very long to see that there's been positive change. There's been community support and community activity. Our residents are happy. Things are going exceptionally well, and we're doing it all being very responsible with our spending and our financing, and we're just seeing the return on all those things. Anybody got anything else?
Just one little thing, if I may.
Yes.
You know, the city, the council, mayor, and so forth, we all have an obligation to make sure that the water's good, our sewer works, our roads are paved, and so forth. We have a duty to do that. But I think what this council's done, particularly with some of the projects, and I'll point out the Boys and Girls Club, I've been here for a long time. I think that is a very good example of outside the box thinking, or a way to utilize city property in a way that is beneficial to the community that we haven't thought of or haven't considered in the past. So I just as a guy who's been sitting in this chair for, I don't know, 16 or 17 years, I thought that was very clever. I thought that's a good program, and if you guys can think of more things, as long as I can make sure that I can figure out a way to make sure they stay legal, I think that kind of outside the box thinking is good and very beneficial to the community. So I think you should all be commended for a project like that.
Anyone else?
Just one thing.
Any council comments?
Don't forget the Vienna Ice Cream Social tomorrow.
That's right, I had it on note. Tomorrow evening, sports fans and extraordinaires, you can attend the Vienna Ice Cream Social put on by the Vienna Volunteer Fire Department at 6 p.m. I'm sure they're still in need of cakes, pies, cookies, whatever you got, they will take. Miss Betty has already made her cake and she will be there volunteering. They do need additional help with handing out cakes, pies, the games. If any council members would like to come out, I will be there with the crew that I drag along with me. And I believe I'm in the dilly dunker machine again this year, right? I did tell Biff he should charge more, you know, and make a little extra money on that. What? They didn't fix my road? You know, that's worth $10 right there, right? I mean, that you make some extra money, but I'll be in the dilly dunker doing what I can to help support our volunteer fire members. So the weather's looking good, and we're just expecting a good night. Any other council comments?
Yes.
Oh, yes, of course you do.
Just as a note, our next council meeting's on the 25th, and that's the opening night of the Freedom Festival. So unless there's some really pressing issues, if we could probably hold that off and make this next council meeting go real quick, would be appreciated.
I just will point out, we are going to have to get something on the agenda sooner than later to do the rezoning for the educational district. I'm working on paperwork for that now, so that's going to take 2 readings, and it's going to require at least 30 days for some of the notices.
So on the 25th, you guys want to start at 5:30?
Can we do that? You can make a motion yes, you can make a motion and you can start it at 5:30 if you want, as long as it's adequately noticed. Yeah, you can change it. I'm not gonna be here that week, so.
Do we have to have a public hearing before that vote on rezoning? I know we did.
Before the final vote.
The final vote.
Yeah, you have to do a class, without getting it, because it's time to go.
The advertisements.
But class 2 legal notice, 30 days, we have to send out 3 letters to the property owners. You can do the public hearing prior, immediately prior to the second vote. We just need a date, I just need to know when that needs to be on the agenda.
Are we good having that council meeting at 5:30? Do I need a motion in a second?
It's not gonna hurt anything.
Did I have a motion in a second? Motion?
Motion second.
Second? Any discussion? 1, 2, 3, no? All those in favor of changing to 5:30?
Wait, I'm still
Right
writing.
now.
We gotta keep Rodney's speech to a minimum that day.
That's it.
I'm gonna have public
Are you
forum,
done?
I'm gonna do what you want to do. Okay, made motion to.
Yes, you can do it.
5:30.
Yep, you
Okay.
can go back and, okay, all those in favor of the. We don't call that.
Adjusting the time for the
Adjusting
next
the time.
council meeting to 5:30.
Signify by raising your hand.
Somebody gotta let Jim know.
All right, I'll let Jim know. Before we close, Monday evening, 6 o'clock at the Vienna Community Building is the public town hall for the discussion of the future of our recycling program. I encourage everybody to come out. It will be a general time of conversation and question. We will have some representation, I believe, from some recycling programs, but I encourage everybody to come out to that so we can gauge what the community wants as far as recycling. And we're adjourned.